that reliable next door neighbor. Your neighbor. Fed Bank.
Vamos a jugar el día. Raúl, que diga, vamos a jugar. Tengo desde esta tarde para jugar, ve que esto es una raza. Tengo desde esta tarde para que juguemos. Me dejé esperando. No, que en la noche te voy a jugar con otro, pero está bien.
Coming out of the break, hoping it's longer than last year when you had a 1-2-3 half inning. Good to see you, Pete. How are you? Goodbye.
Pero tú sabes, Junior, que di palo también, ¿eh? A cualquier otro loquito de eso que yo le había hecho esas 8 carreras, no me gana. Eso me quedé estoy de moto, pero había sido el loquito de Raúl, Elías o Quintero o mi compadre Cibao. Lo mato porque no se montan así. Yo lo voy a matar.
Nene, pero es que tú no me vas a hacer toda esa carrera, vos tú eres loco, muchacho.
Esto mío, el nietecito mío, o sea, para el nietecito mío, el nieto mío es Will.
How to use his new toys. Well, what do you think about that? How should he go about his business any differently than he did last year? Now that he has that velocity, having a good breaking ball tonight too. Yeah, he's always had the breaking balls, and that was a huge reason for his.
Nene, pero es que tú no me vas a hacer toda esa carrera, vos tú eres loco, muchacho.
He's transformed himself into a power pitcher. So kind of.
Está buena esa, está buena, pero me gustaría ver y en vivo que tú lo pongas con Nene.
Raúl, jugamos, que estoy caminando el perrito, dime.
Usted también corre para que el diablo, porque coño. Bueno, piche, reserva para el juego, huye.
Espérate, un segundo. Tengo que meter los relevistas para afuera también, ¿verdad?
No.
¿Los relevistas no se cansan?
No creo. Yo no me pongo.
Pues sí, ¿qué pasa? Se cansan todos.
Yo no me pongo lo de arriba.
Déjame yo.
Que yo no creo que se canse, porque si tú lo tienes cansado, se te llenan. Déjalo ahí.
Espérate, déjame ver entonces. Yo ya estoy pegado. Ese Willy que haga el de él ahora mismo, que ya lo hizo.
Ah, bueno.
Yo estoy metiendo lo mío, voy haciendo lo de él.
Ay, coño. Ah, pues ella ha pedido 3. El niño.
Ya la perdió 3.
There's more. There can be more focus on preparation. There can be some more focus in between starts, but for the most part, every guy that took the ball last year did good.
Mira eso. Jugué los Q. Y viene la gente Seattle ya y dan un jorrón.
Coach Pete. How did you like that? Jump on that stage. Oh, baby. I'm glad I'm watching it in the bottom of the inning.
Nice wait.
Yo tenía 2 perdidos consecutivos y yo no entiendo. Luego me picaban los ojos ya jugando ya.
No,
No sé
pero...
si era el pille o qué.
Pero yo, loco, yo cometí un error jugar con Quintero.
¿Qué hiciste?
No, porque que yo no debí jugar con Quintero hoy, porque ya yo había jugado contigo. Y de una vez
Eso mismo te iba a decir.
y de una vez vino, loco, el Willy y me trajo a Chase, mi loco.
Eso mismo te iba a decir. Y que ya no juego más de 2 juegos diarios.
No,
Ya los ojos locos se le cansan a uno, tú no lo crees.
sí, no, y si son pitches malos, está bien. Pero que son leones que no tienen,
No, claro. Yo sé que no te voy a meter cualquier panita.
Me avisa, Junior.
Ya. Ya lo están reuniendo, pues.
Y entonces yo estaba ¿cómo se llama? Como este muchacho esperando como el bola, que se le cansara de Gron, loco. Se le cansara de Gron. 8 hits me tiró. En el octavo de una vez le di 3 hits pisados. Y después batí para doble play. Pero ya yo estoy fundido, loco.
No, muchacho, ya está bueno ya.
No, pero esta liga se va a terminar rápido.
Sí, está así porque estamos lo que jugamos, lo que siempre jugamos.
Claro.
Y a Rafael, que tenía yo hombre en primera y segunda, y sin nada, pero sin ser frente en el pero estaba empate el juego, ¿tú me entiendes?
Ajá.
Yo le dije, no, vamos a repetirlo. Porque tampoco, tú sabes, no me gusta.
Ya, ahí está todo. Ya, entonces Junior, Boilo, falta los Q, San Diego, Minnesota, Tampa, Cincinnati, los Dodgers, los Mets, Houston, por los juegos. Dame anotar.
Dice que tampoco juego, ya para terminar.
Sí, a mí me quedan 8. Bueno, pues dale.
But it's so funny that it can happen to you. You know, like Pete said, a 4-pitch inning, and then other times it's like, War and Peace. Especially here in spring training.
Jugué con Florero y se cayó. Yo tuve estuvo la tarde entera. La tarde entera estuve mirando quién activo. Yo andaba ahí y no lo quiso jugar. La tarde entera, quién activo. Todo por la comida lo voy a matar, lo voy a matar como perro, lo voy a caer, lo voy a guisar con salchicha. A Raúl lo voy a avisar. Willy, te cae una raya perdedora, pero pues, coño, cuando yo anote esa victoria. Tengo un hermano que me apoya, está conmigo. Vamos, mi bonito, gana por mí.
Getting some of that action down into the corner. Philly's got to be thinking 3. And he shut it down. You don't want to make the third out, third base. They do remember that. It is early in the season, but he hit it well, and it's got to feel good. He started out the season like 0 for 16, wasn't hitting the ball hard. He's picked it up lately.
I saw him have the home run and the double against the Dodgers. Now he's out in front of a breaking ball, 77 miles an hour. He was thinking 3 Maniac and the third base coach doing the right thing and holding him up. It'll be a stand-up double.
Third double of the season. There's Manning. Barry Hill coaching at first. So 2 outs, runner at second for Crawford. Hired a Gold Glove shortstop. So JP Mike comes in 5 for 30. The question, a simple one, why 5 for 30? What do you think?
Well, I think early on in spring, probably trying to get his timing back and maybe working on some things. A number of guys that, when you know that you're on the ball club, you have the luxury of that. I think he was taking a number of pitches, and I don't think he was necessarily his timing on the fastball was therefore fouling off of a number of pitches. So hopefully here in this last week of spring training, we'll see him start to square up. I'm not worried about his overall numbers. When you get to this last week as a veteran player, somebody that you know is going to be on the ball club, you want to see him swinging the bat well. So hopefully that will be the case for JP.
Top of the zone, out of the zone, 2-1. Davies giving up his first run of the spring. JP in charge here, 3-1. And he takes strike 2.
He didn't want to give in to him there at 3-1. He was looking for the fastball. That was the changeup again at 77 miles an hour. For Davies tonight, his fastball at 86, 87 in that range, but a terrific changeup working for him.
Takes the walk. 2 outs, 2 on. Sam Haggerty, switch hitter. Second base tonight. Of course, walk by Davies. So the home run by Trammell, the first earned run of the spring, second run total against Davies. Haggerty trying to add on to that total here. Haggerty to right field, hanging up. Catch made by Cameron Maiden. And the Mariners have a 1-0 lead on the Taylor Trammell home run. He had the snap, crackle, and the pop. 1-0 Mariners.
Community in action. That's the annual Magic Fields program. Looking back, we're now in year 5 of our 10-year commitment, rebuilding and renovating a Little League baseball field in our community every spring. It's an amazing promise and a pledge to our children's future. Magic Fields unites families and employees from Magic Toyota, Dunn Lumber, Wafet Bank, and Bruce Sports. Partners, parents, and especially the kids. Excited for the time when we can safely gather and continue our work. Magic Fields, building stronger families, one field at a time.
Some things from your college days are better left behind. Like that high-interest student loan. Refinance it. First Tech Federal Credit Union. You'll look back and say, I'm really glad I did that.
We don't want to overhype the return of the quesalupus cheese stuffed shell, so we're skipping the theatrics. Well, we were skipping the theatrics. Anyway, the quesalupa from Taco Bell is back, and we think you'll like it.
Introducing the Mango. Just the same to those smooth little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. Dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a healthy dinner. Meeting the commute. Putting your feet up after a long day. The only adventure sales event is Land Rover, above and beyond.
Hey, everybody, get geared up for opening night and the return of Mariners baseball. Fans are invited to the Mariners drive-through rally located inside the Mariners garage on this Sunday. And to RSVP and reserve your time, visit mariners.com/rally. Justin Dunn a 1-0 lead. Back to the top of the order, and Eric Sogard, nice looking breaking ball. Sogard reached on an error, on a walk, and got the third on an error. First inning with the Cubbies loaded the bases. Interesting assessment, Mike. Big Woodworth on Dunn.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see again the velocity. He's been consistent 95. He's topped out at 96 tonight. You're starting to see the better bite on the breaking ball. What that will do for him over the course of the summer. I think it'll make him feel like he can be more aggressive in the strike zone. We certainly have seen that tonight.
Drops in for a base hit. Done so far, first 2 innings, 3 strikeouts and a walk, and now giving up his second hit. Talk about being a hero, jeez. Whew.
Fastball right in on his hands. Pieces flying everywhere.
Take it up a notch in quality, huh? David Bodie, the second baseman. Flight out to left. See if Dunn can get a double play ball here. Keeping Sogard close. Fastball for strike. Dunn keeping Sogard close. Sogard in a 10-year career, 43 stolen bases. Caught 14 times. Close. Mariners infield, Seager at third, Crawford at short, Sam Haggerty in second. You saw Ty France. He's at first. Jake Fraley, Taylor Trammell, and Mitch Haniger in the outfield. Luis Torrens behind the plate. Fourth game, third start for Justin Dunn. Breaking ball. Runner was on the move. I think more teams are going to win this year. Mariners led the American League last year. Stolen bases. Is that part of the game coming back?
I don't know about more teams, probably a few, but it's certainly something that the Mariners will continue to do a lot of. And we've seen it throughout this spring. When they get a chance to run, they'll take off.
Breaking ball and a beauty strikes him out. That's the fourth strikeout. They're done. One away, one on, third inning. Single game tickets. They're available only at mariners.com/tickets. They go on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. Capacity, as you know, first 11 games limited to 9,000. Opening night sold out. Ticket members, season ticket members, priority access before tickets go on sale. So make sure you sign up for free Mariners mail, fan mail to get priority access. Future game tickets available.
Rizzo with a base hit his first time up, hit a line drive into right field. Ended up getting a fastball. It was probably middle in. Turned on it.
Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez are in the final year of their contracts. Already seen a big change with the Cubs. Joe Madden moving on. See him with the Angels. Theo Epstein's moved on. David Ross, who hit a big home run in the World Series for the Cubs at 16. There he is. Took over after 5 years of Joe Madden. Cubs did win the Central last year, 34-26 by 3 over St. Louis, but got taken out by Miami in the wild card. All 2 strikes.
And one of the few changeups we've seen from Dunn. Changeup at 88 miles an hour. Basically been with his fastball and curveball.
Anthony Rizzo, big part of the Cubs 16 championship. Inside. Ten years in the bigs for Rizzo and 229 home runs. 4 consecutive years where he hit 30 or more. 2-2. Really doing a good job keeping Sogard close. Pudge Rodriguez throwing behind the left-hand hitter, trying to sneak attack on the guy at first, trailing off a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a good play.
He wanted it down low, and that's a big get. Everybody going over to cover third as Sogard was on the move. He steals second.
I was wondering what he was going to come back with. He missed with 3 fastball after being ahead 0-2 inside. He comes back with the curveball. It's the strikeout swing.
Here's what happened. This is why you saw so much movement. Sogard was on the move. The shift was on against Rizzo. And every time I see that, Mike, you can't help but think of the 09 World Series Johnny Damon taking third in a similar play against the Phillies. Caught them napping. Freshman Ristic struck out looking first time. Yeah, with shifting, you can afford to be bold sometimes. You know, you get a guy way over like that. It doesn't matter, just a foot race to get to the bag. 0-1. Just 0-2.
Good news is Terez was paying attention. Kyle Seager was the one that was covering second base. So there was literally nobody on the left side of the infield.
Trying to put Marisnik away. Pitch. 1-2. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Given up by Justin Dunn. No runs on 2 hits. Interesting situation with Murphy DHing Terez in the game. They had to. France, as Scott Service was telling us the last couple of days, doing some catching in the bullpen. And the no guy says he wouldn't mind being totally against going in as an emergency catch. Nice way to end that third inning, striking out the side. 6 Ks on the early evening here, a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. Sam.
Mario.
You should offer a punch card or something.
That's a good one. Just game night.
Fine. But if you think I'm bringing a pizza again,
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Racing for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Springfield.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, your decking headquarters since 1907. Don't look now, but the tides are rising, just as the stars are shining. Now sit back and ride the wave, as big things are brewing on the corner of Edward and Dade.
to ensure the ballpark is safe for fans' return, Mariners have implemented new health and safety policies and protocols, including enhanced cleaning, social distancing, mask mandates, and more. For more details on how we're going to all be safely navigating our return to T-Mobile Park, visit Mariners.com/safety. Dave Sims here in Seattle with Mike Flowerstown in Peoria. Mariners lead 1-0. Taylor Trammell with a loud line drive home run back in the second inning. Top of the order is Mitch Haniger. Popped up at third base. First time up, swing and a miss. Haniger, France, and Seager. Counts at 1-1. Zach Davies, a 2-0 spring record. Adam Diallo. Washington on the top. 2 balls, 1 strike. Not a big guy at all. 6'1", 180. We have good movement on that pitch. Count evens at 2-2.
That was another changeup. With changing speeds, his fastball's topped out at 87. A lot of 86s on the scoreboards. Changeup at 77. And the occasional breaking ball.
Full count to Haniger. Leading off here in the home third. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Davies. That's his fifth. Ty France struck out looking on an 0-2 pitch first time. Mike, with opening day a week tomorrow, your body clock as a baseball player, and more probably mindset, where are you at about this time if you're one of the regulars?
If you're a regular and you're in the lineup on a daily basis, you're about ready to go. I think for the hitters, they probably get ready quicker. Fly ball out towards right. They're ready quicker than the pitchers. You have to stretch them out. This last week, you're thinking of 2 things. Can't wait to get there. You can't wait to get on that plane and head back to Seattle for the opener. And you just want to stay healthy. Lewis, you mentioned him. There's no reason that they're going to put him in the lineup until he is completely healthy.
Scott was saying earlier today, if this had been a regular season, he'd be playing, but they too valuable a commodity, man. It's unanimous rookie of the year. Do you know what you're dealing with here, huh? You don't want to mess that up. Quick 2 outs in the third. Seager didn't like some of the low strikes that were called on him his first time up. 2-0. So Kyle Seager has really become a mainstay. It is a mainstay, and has put up some great numbers going down in history of the Mariners. One of the best ball players have had. Not bad for a guy who was an afterthought to draft, so to speak. Dustin Eckler made point of attention when they were scouting the University of North Carolina. Turned out the kid at second base wasn't too shabby. That was one of the better third basemen in the game. It has been for a while. Gold Glover several years ago. Got a good count for him here, 2-1. Seemed like yesterday, Mike. I remember
when he first arrived at the big leagues, they thought maybe a good utility player.
Yeah.
Move him around a little bit.
Yeah, I saw a picture recently of him, Mike. I think you were probably with this. The rail and the dugout, and he looked like he was fresh out of college. Who's the baby face guy you guys were talking to? That was when right after the draft. Haven has to give some ground here. Davies, good inning, 1, 2, 3. 3 complete, 1-0 Mariners.
Whether your office is in town or in your living room, you're a professional, and Tacoma Subaru treats you like one. Whether in person or online, our team members are dedicated to making sure your experience is quick, transparent, and less complicated. For a limited time, get financing as low as 0% for 63 months on all new Ascent, Impreza, Legacy, and Outback models. Tacoma Subaru. Don't wait. Get big savings during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Tacoma Subaru.
Big league performance in your backyard. With battery power made by Steel. Our AK Homeowner Series starts at just $199.99. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up now at over 10,000 local Steel dealers.
Yeah, everything seems to be overlapping these days, which in some ways is great. We're definitely together more. But sometimes I just need that dedicated space, where I can actually think. I mean, they say there's no place like home, and that's true. I just wish we could make it work for us. Maybe we should renovate.
Get a home equity line of credit at Moffett Bank.
Isn't it time to get away to Grace Harbor County? Your next adventure is just a short drive away. Grace Harbor County. Unforgettable.
Mariners Spring Training is brought to you by Dunn Lumber, your decking headquarters since 1907. Nightfall down in Peoria. Mariners with a 1-0 lead. Taylor Trammell, a line drive home run. The Mariners on the board. Ryan Rowland-Smith joins us here at the Bellevue Studios. And Ryan, your thoughts so far on what you've seen from Mr. Dunn? 6 strikeouts, 1 walk through 3.
Oh, I think the key right there, what you mentioned, is first of all, 6 strikeouts. That's fantastic. One thing, 2020 had a tough time putting guys away because of that pitch right there, that curveball, throwing that pitch inside the strike zone, also outside the strike zone. But also too, look, the 1 walk. That was the one thing with him. Was just the command. It wasn't so much like it was going, 3-0 and ball 4, and then could not didn't know where the ball was going. He would just get deep counts, and all of a sudden, he would just try and do a little bit too much. Yeah, obviously that's a classic rookie first time when you look at 2020 to try and do that. But the big thing to pay attention to as we get to that 50-plus pitches for Justin Dunn is he's competing for this spot. What can you do with that break ball? You're starting to see him throw up more. I love that too. Yeah, Dave, that fastball. You and Mike have talked about it. Uptick in velocity, 94, 96. So all of a sudden, the confidence, man, when you have that extra little bit of life on that fastball, man, you're confident to throw a middle up in the strike zone.
He hung that one, and Maven, the veteran, jumped all over it. We got a tied ball game. Maven, 30 games with the Mariners in 2018, 242, a homer and 8 RBIs. And tell you what, he took advantage of a mistake, a hanger. 33-year-old from Asheville, North Carolina, Cameron Maven ties the game at 1-1.
Casey playing that breaking ball with 2 strikes. Middle of the strike zone. He saw in the first inning, he got off the ropes with loaded bases to get that third out by expanding the strike zone. This has been a problem for Justin Dunn. This pitch per stays middle. Cameron Maven all over it.
Oh, man. There was no question about that. This one hit hard off the bat of Nico Warner. That's got carry, and Hennigan can't make the play. Faking 3, digging hard, throw to third, gets away. Backed up by Dunn, so some lightning here by the Cubs in the 4th inning.
So that game speeds up a little bit on Justin Dunn. Mitch Hennigan too, let's not forget, he's had a couple of years sitting on the sidelines watching. That's a tough play, especially when you're starting to slip into night games. I guarantee a couple months into the season, Mitch Hennigan's most likely catching the ball at T-Mobile Park.
I don't think he never laid a glove on it. Or maybe a lace.
Just soft those last couple steps. You kind of lose that confidence. You second-guess yourself a little bit.
And it's got to be a change, Ryan. You know, like you said, June of 2 years ago, the last time he played, hey, I got to get my steps down on the track and get used to going backwards against the wall. You've been away from that for a long time.
Yeah, you can take all the fungos you want on field 5, Dave, down in Peoria, but nothing compares to the ball off the bat, especially when it's tailing away toward the line deep like that.
So a home run and a triple to start the Cubs' 4th. Here's Rafael Ortega. Right out to left. He's ahead in the count here, 1-0. Did not go. Count goes to 2-0.
This inning, Justin Dunn, I mean, this could be the separator too. You talk about the competition with him and Nick Markavich is pitching tomorrow night. Scott Service, Pete Woodworth, watching intently. How does he react? Give up the home run to Cameron Maven, give up a hard-hit ambush first pitch in that last at-bat. How does he respond?
2-0 pitch. 3-0, not close. Those last outings, similar type of thing, right? Breezing along and then 3 walks. Got him in trouble. .3-0 here to Ortega. 3-1.
You still have a little bit of that fatigue aspect too. I know it's only 59 pitches, but we're still in the month of March.
Right. It's really a comfortable temperature down there at 66 degrees. 3-1, big pitch. Lost him on a breaking ball. Second walk. First 3 men have reached here in the 4th inning.
Another aspect too, when you look at Justin Dunn, and even for Nick Markavich's or Justice Sheffield, Dave, we're talking about 162 games. This is going to be the first chance for them, 2021, to go a full 6 months deep in the garden. They've got that extra rotation spot. The 6-man rotation is going to help. People are talking about the advantage of that. But I'm telling you, when you get start number 12, start number 15, you can start to weigh you down.
Now, like he said, if his math is correct, if everybody stays healthy, it's 27 starts.
Right.
And I've heard you and other people say, hey, man, you're going to have to go out there when you don't have your best stuff, and you got to figure it out how to compete, keep your team in the ballgame.
Right.
PJ hits the catcher fly down the center. Some healthy competition between Justin Dunn and Nick Margevicius. Margevicius, sure, he's going to school on what's happening here.
It's so hard to try and avoid it, too, playing jam inside your head.
They're struggling now. Stolen base. Second and third now.
For Nick Margevicius, if he's gone home early spring training, or he's sitting on that bench, you can't help but play jam. I've been in that situation before where you compete against one of your buddies out there, and you're trying to figure out, how a pitching coach interacts with that other guy you're up against. So just trying to get some little read, because these 10 days leading into the season, the last couple of weeks, just drag on. You're just waiting for that decision. Am I on this team, or have I been beaten out for that spot?
Margevicius will start tomorrow night's game. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, no. 2-1.
And that's that pitch, especially in a 1-1 count like that. That breaking ball, throwing that pitch for a strike early in counts, getting good in good counts, and then finishing guys off.
Mariners will be at the A's 105 tomorrow. Margevicius will get the start against Frankie Montas. 2 balls, 1 strike. P.J. Higgins, the catcher. A lot of the starters for the Cubs with familiar names not here today. And that is ball 3. So the inning has gone like this. A home run, no doubt about it, on a breaking ball. 2-1 pitch to Maven. Horner triples to deep right. Ortega walks in a 3-1 pitch, and now 3-1 to P.J. Higgins. Pitcher spot is up next. This is inning number 4 for Dunn. A 1-1 game. Battles back, 3-2. That stolen base by Ortega took the double play out of it. Second and third, nobody out. A 3-2 pitch to P.J. Higgins. Breaking ball missed outside badly. Bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks, third for the game.
As much as it is an advantage, I think it is when you pitches early in spring training, when you have the situation where you could sub him out and then bring him back for the next inning. This is a perfect audition right now for Scott Service. Seeing loaded bases, none out, how's he respond again? All of a sudden it's snowballing for Justin Dunn. And again, these are these times, and regardless of the situation you're in, whether you're competing or not, these are those moments that you can make the most out of your spring training.
This is where he might catch a break. The pitcher is up. Zach Davies, he struck out on a 1-2 pitch. National League ball. I grew up with National League ball, but I much prefer the DH. I ain't gonna lie to you. And the other thing, too, when you talk to coaches, Ryan, you know this, you hear guys say, hey, man, I don't want you out there swinging, pulling a oblique or naval muscle, or running the bases or something. Trip over base, blow out a knee. Who needs that?
I do still like the fact that National League pitchers here, American League DH. I love it. I mean, call me old school. I love the fact that there's a difference.
0-2. Next year it may go away, though, with the new CBA. More than likely will go away. I mean, certainly that's a hot, heavy speculation that it'll be gone after this year. Pitchers having a hit. It's interesting seeing articles from Madison Bumgarner and people like that, those kind of guys. Zach Greinke, who can swing it, though. 1-2 pitch. Swing! And a miss struck him out. He made it. First out, base is still loaded. Strikeout number 7 for Dunn.
A huge break for Justin Dunn. You mentioned having a pitcher up there to hit. Again, sometimes a lose-lose situation when you're facing the pitcher, but just a chance to get your breath back a little bit, get that heart rate down, back to the top of the lineup. See Scott Service coming in now.
It's so good. Over the course of his 10-year career, has been super-duper pesky, particularly against the Mariners. Scott Service going to make a move. And boy, Dunn was going so well. 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 run, 2 hits. And that'll do it for him, leaving the bases loaded, 1 out. We'll step aside. It's a 1-1 game, Cubs and Mariners.
next adventure is just a short drive away. Grays Harbor County. Unforgettable.
Last season, baseball's youngest team earned league-wide attention. Need proof?
Making the catch. What a play by Kyle Seager. Holy smokes, Kyle Lewis. Justice Sheffield strikes out the side.
Bulldog tough, you bet.
Are you ready for more? Mariners baseball. See us rise.
Over 10 years ago, we made a promise to redefine everything a truck could be. While we've made good on that promise by winning back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year awards, the work is never done.
During Ram Truck Month, we're getting at 0% APR financing for 72 months. Plus $4,000 total bonus cash on select 2021 Ram 1500 models in dealer stock.
We don't want to overhype the return of the Quesalupa's cheese stuffed shell, so we're skipping the theatrics.
Man.
Well, we were skipping the theatrics. Anyway, the Quesalupa from Taco Bell is back, and we think you'll like it.
Mariners Spring Training is brought to you by Dunn Lumber, your decking headquarters since 1907. By Grays Harbor County Tourism, your next adventure just a short drive away in unforgettable Grays Harbor County. And by the all-new Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Dave Sims here with you in Seattle with Ryan Roland-Smith. Got a 1-1 ball game. Home run by Cameron Maven has tied it up in the fourth. Justin Dunn, first 3 innings, solid. And then the threads came apart here in the fourth, Ryan Roland-Smith.
They did. You never want to end your night like that. You're going to have a blunder of an inning. Make sure it's early. Make sure you can finish on a strong note. That's going to be his last start. That's what he's going to leave with. They're going to make a decision after this. Justin Dunn, it could be a little bit of fatigue, but at the same time, it just goes back to that breaking ball early in counts, sets everything up for him.
Paul Sewall take over. Eric Sogard, first pitch strike. There's Sewald's numbers: 4 games, 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 earnings. Wow. A walk and 8 strikeouts. And right after him, 0-2. Sewald, a non-roster invitee, 6'2", 30 years old, out of Las Vegas, Nevada, University of San Diego product. Last 4 seasons with the Mets. Tough numbers, a 1-14 mark with a 5.50 ERA in the dirt.
Some significant time in the big leagues too. I'm just looking over his numbers, Dave. Not gonna lie, sometimes these guys when in the National League, you don't quite, catch what they're doing. You have a glance in, like, 125 games.
Yep.
Yeah, he's getting an opportunity. Open some eyes right here, loaded bases against Manchester, the pesky Eric Sogard. I feel like this guy's been around for 30 years.
He and Tommy La Stella.
Yeah.
They can hurt you, man. 1-2. It's funny you mentioned that too, because when I saw Sogard was in the lineup, I went to his numbers, and in my mind's eye, it was like a 310 hitter against the Mariners, but it was like 262. But it seemed like every one of that 262 is hurt the Mariners' career. You know, you had guys like that.
Yeah.
A long inning for the Cubs. Home run, triple, walk, stolen base, walk, strikeout. Now 1-2 to Sogard.
A lot of that too, Dave. Just foul balls off all day long. It's been a long inning already.
Sure.
Top of the lineup. They're a dying breed too. Guys like Eric Sogard. You mentioned Tommy La Stella. It's all about power now on base. Eric Sogard's been one of those guys on base percentage through the roof, but just a pesky hitter. Love to see that come back in the game. Guys who can take a bag, get on base, don't
I hear Jed Lowry's back healthy again. Once again, he's got like 49 lives. Ball and 2 strikes. He's not going to do a 22-pitch at bat like that Met player had the other day, is he? Did you watch? I saw the highlights of it. I didn't see it live.
I just saw the pitch by pitch. I mean, ran out of videotape.
That was unreal. Luis Guillaume, 22-pitch at bat, drew a walk. It was great watching his teammates. They were just, once it got up around 10, 11, they were digging every foul ball. What happened last week? That was unreal. Jordan Hicks of the Cardinals against Luis Guillaume.
I'm surprised. 2021 spring training, they're cutting everything short. I'm surprised pitch 15. Like, yep, you're done. Just take the first place. That's it.
Right? 1-2 to Sogard, bases loaded. 2-2. And one of those walks that really hurt Dunn leading off the ballgame was Sogard. He had him on, I believe it was a 2-2 pitch. He went to 3-2 and he eventually walked. That's the one that'll keep you up all night thinking about that one that got away, and not to mention what has happened here in the 4th.
Absolutely, especially when it's that last outing spring training. Whether or not he knows something we don't, man, your mind is racing right now.
2-2. Fouled off again. I tell you what, he's building up some numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be number 9. That's what number 9 coming up. That Guillaume at bat must have been timed with a sundial every day. So pitch number 9 to Sogard.
You always see some strange stuff in spring training. I think today, correct me if I'm wrong, is the anniversary when Randy Johnson hit that bird.
I heard about that. I heard somebody mention that this morning. Look at this. Dub City, center field. Couple of runs are going to score. They have him dead to rights at third. But Sogard hurts the Mariners. Drives in 2. P.J. Higgins is thrown out. Big 2 RBI single. 2 for 2 with a walk for Sogard tonight.
And these bats are exhausting. When you come into a game, you got loaded bases. The first priority is throwing strikes. You don't want to walk and you want to get down the count with loaded bases. All of a sudden you get ahead of the count, and then Eric Sogard just keeps fouling, pitches off. You feel like you made a pitch. He's able to stay inside that ball. Sprayed in the center field.
There's 2 outs now. Breaking ball. Foul off by David Bodie. Two down here in the top of the 4th. Home run by Maven, 2-run single by Sogard. Paul Sewald on in relief. Justin Dunn. Anthony Rizzo's on deck if Sewald can't get Bodie. 7th man to the plate here in the 4th inning. So Sewald getting an opportunity to be seen here. He was a 10th round pick of the Mets back in 2012 out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas. Same school that produced Joey Gallo, Joey Rickard. Wow. 0-2. Stopped by Terrence, but doesn't keep the runner from advancing.
The trend running in 2 strikes, just unable to put hitters away.
Bodie 1-2. Trying to turn the lights out here in this frame, and the count goes to 2-2. Yeah, you were talking, Ryan, about Justin Dunn, the last outing of the spring, and man, oh man, it's the last inning. You know you're coming out, and you want to leave with a good taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. 2-2. Chopper. JP. The Gold Glove performer. Oh, not dug out by France. Sogard comes around to score 2-run score on that. Oh, my goodness. Make that 1 run. He scored second. Man, oh, man.
That's such a tough play, too. JP Crawford coming in a half volley. It's kind of an awkward angle right here. You see that little half volley just doesn't quite set his feet.
Yeah, through sinker.
Especially, too, when you've been standing there for a while as well. Sometimes you get on your heels a little bit. You could ask the question, too, if Evan White's over there playing first base, is that ball picked? Saw a lot of that last year, man. He saved some errors in that infield, Evan White. It was so fun to watch. I think it's Ty France getting a chance to play over there, but man, Evan White, how refreshing was that day watching Evan White last year play first base?
It's one of the best gloves I've ever seen at first base. I mean, you're talking about Mattingly, Keith Hernandez, Wes Parker, JT Snow, John Olerud, and some of the elite guys I've seen over the years at first base. Here's Anthony Rizzo, the 8th man to the plate. He's 1 for 2. First inning single. Struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the 3rd. From his knees, nothing doing there by Bodie. He was not on the move.
Talk about Justin Dunn too. The other aspect of this, let's say he does make that six-man spot in the rotation. You never want to leave on that note going into April, going into that first series of the year, that first start of a big year. You want to set your mark. You know, you got 6 months worth of this. You always want to get that, especially if you're a young pitcher, get that snowball of confidence going in to the month of April.
Rizzo, back legs one, hooks it foul. Man, he got some carrying distance on that one. 1-2. Well, he's pretty locked in. At least he is tonight. The numbers indicate that it's been a good spring for him. What the base hit tonight, he is 11 for 33.
He's got a little bit of a leg kick too. Anthony Rizzo is kind of quiet that front side. Looking really good right now. Remember his days back with the Red Sox, the Padres. Big time prospect, didn't quite get over the line. He went to the Cubs and just tore it up.
Yeah. Fouls that one off 1-2.
Doing his best Adrian Beltre impression of that back thing. I love it.
Good one. I will be watching Beltre in the Hall of Fame in a couple of years. What's he at, 2 years now? Great player. Well, he's able to protect him that pitch standing on top of the plate. Out of play.
You talk about Adrian Beltre, but play with that. His defense, I swear, he shaved a whole point off my ERA, which is playing third base.
Good call.
I used to throw this weak slider down into the hitters, and I used to just hit laser beams down to third base, and he was there every single time to pick that ball. Nice having him behind you, that's for sure.
Sewell trying to end the 4th. It's been a while. 8th man at the plate, Anthony Rizzo, 1-2. Struck him out. That'll do it. Damage done. 4 on the board for the Cubs. 4-1 Chicago.
off-road, a weekend getaway, or just getting away from it all. You've heard the call. Felt the urge to conquer the off-road, the craving for new trails to blaze, the desire to just keep driving. We know because we've gotten the call too. We look forward to seeing you out there. The only adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that moment, her life changes forever. The toll is great. The need is greater. The need to find comfort in the dark hours. The need to find hope in the cures. And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. But we need your help to make more moments of hope possible. Join our fight. Save lives. Because we are all stronger together.
It's for the first 2 homestands of the season go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tickets, they're available only at Mariners.com. 4-1 Cubs this evening. We send it back down to Peoria. Mike Lauer standing by with a special guest.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. We have Andy McKay joining us here in the bottom of the 4th. Andy, good to talk to you.
How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing great. You know, I was talking to Alvin Davis the other day, and he was explaining to us that the minor league season was going to be back and the number of teams and things like that. I have to believe you're thrilled about that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think we've got, we're very confident it's going to go off as planned. It's going to be delayed, which I think everybody's figured out by now, but you know, very shortly we feel like we're going to have all of our affiliates up and running, and with, you know, Everett converting to a full season advanced A League, it's going to be great because our fans are going to have our AAA group in Tacoma, our high A group in Everett, and obviously our big league team in Seattle. So, and we're going to have very good teams at both of those affiliates. So, great opportunities for our fans to get out and see our young players.
You mentioned the delay. When will minor league camp open up?
So we've got to go through the intake process just like we did for this camp. But, you know, in the first week of April, all of our kids will be getting in. They'll be going through the testing and the protocols and the quarantining. But within the first few days of April, we'll have everybody here. We'll have a full camp. We'll have almost 200 people in the building. And be here every day through April until we head out in the first week of May to start the season.
How many games will the season be for the most part?
Not sure, and you know, playoffs and so forth, but we're going to have a full season for the most part and get back to normal as much as we can.
Well, I know, I was thinking about this, Andy, and when you have a big league club, it's one thing to go through all the protocols and the things they have to take care of, and the amount of dollars and expense to that. But how will that be for you in the minor leagues with those guys on the same type of protocols, trying to keep everybody healthy and on the field?
Yeah, in a very similar fashion to the big league group, and obviously our number one priority is that we keep people safe. And so far through the beginning of this, over really the last 12 months, I think we've done a really good job. And the credit goes to our players really for following the protocols and taking them seriously. And so when we get out to whether we're in Arkansas or Modesto or Everett, Tacoma, you know, and even down here in Peoria and on the campus in Boca Chica, we'll have very similar protocols in place, and we'll stick with them and adhere to them for as long as they're in place.
I know how you feel about all these players, and I thought about this a lot last year when the Mariners were playing and we were broadcasting the games, and I know that they had a number of prospects that were in Tacoma doing their thing, but there were so many other minor leaguers, Andy, that didn't have the opportunities to play. That had to be really difficult for you as well. I imagine you had to stay in touch with a number of guys.
Yeah, and we did, and you know, COVID was hard, and you know, perspective that, you know, 500,000 people in the U.S. lost their lives, and some kids lost a season of baseball. So perspective is everything here. But you know, at the same time, we did a fantastic job of staying in touch with our players, and you know, as we were into the alternate site, we had that group here, and then we had a group that came down to Peoria for our fall league. But there were almost 100 players that
we had no contact with in person from the this time last year until really next week. So there'll be a little bit of a getting to know you phase again, and everybody will be wearing sunglasses and masks, so it's really difficult to see who you're talking to at times. But I'm thrilled for these kids, and I think if you just go back to your own experience, losing a year of your career is hard, and it's really important to these kids, and we'll do our very best to give them the best opportunity when they get back here to kind of get them back on track and working towards their dreams.
Since I had to hear Taylor Trammell at the plate hit a home run his last time up, I've been really impressed with him this spring.
Yeah, an amazing kid, and somebody that we were so thrilled to acquire last year. Obviously, the big home run his last at bat, and then just had the outfield assist there in the top half of that inning. But people have to remember that he's been part of two major trades. He was drafted and signed by the Reds, traded to the Padres, then he came to us during an alternate site during really the end when we were getting smoked out all the time. And it's hard. People forget that these people they're humans. They're young men that are developing still, and you can have money and be a professional athlete, and that doesn't really change the human experience. And when you're being traded and you're having to meet new people and establish, anybody who's listening, your first day on a new job is hard, and he's had to do it multiple times as a young adult. And I think what you're seeing this spring is just a level of comfortability and trust. He's getting to know us, we're getting to know him. He's creating friendships, with teammates, and it takes a while to settle in, and I think he's doing that, and hopefully he's found a home here, and obviously the spring has been great, so I'm really happy for him. And it's one of these cool things that's starting to happen on players, and I don't know if you can see, Kyle Lewis is sitting behind our dugout tonight. He wasn't on the card to play, and he's here supporting his teammates, and when Taylor hit that ball, you could hear Taylor up there. It's awesome. So fun to see, and really excited for him, because he really is he's a fantastic kid, and we're thrilled to have him.
Well, and then one of the things you were talking about, too, was when you're evaluating all these different players, and you mentioned it, a number of them didn't have a season last year. So, thinking back on my career, if I was playing in Double-A,